Hello, today in this video we'll learn about the object-oriented programming concepts. Okay, introduction to the object-oriented programming. So, in this video we'll learn about object-oriented concepts, syntaxes, examples, and key concepts of objects, classes, attributes, methods, encapsulations, and their syntaxes and their examples. Okay, and also there are some more inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, composition, association are there. We'll see in these bottom 5 in later classes. Top 5 we'll see with syntaxes, definitions, and sample programming. Okay, basic definitions. Okay. So what is object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming is a programming paradigm that uses objects and classes as fundamental concepts for structuring and organizing the code. And also other concept is there which is called as procedure-oriented programming. In procedure-oriented programming, programmer uses procedures or functions to perform a task. Okay, to perform a task in procedure-oriented programming, programmer uses functions or procedures, okay, to perform a task, whereas in object oriented programming, programmer uses objects and classes, okay, as fundamental concepts to perform a task. Okay, it is widely used approach in software development because it promotes modularity, reusability, and maintainability of code. In oops, everything is treated as an object. See, we call it as object oriented programming because everything is centered around classes and objects. So the reason it called as object oriented programming in simple words. And also there are some key concepts are there for object oriented programming: objects, classes, attributes, methods, encapsulations. What is object? Object is nothing but objects are instance of classes. We'll see with an example what is object and how it created and syntax of that. Just definition, basic definition. Remember, objects are the instance of classes. They represent real world entities or concepts. For example, in banking application you might have objects representing bank account, customer transactions. Okay, what is class? Means class is a blueprint of templates for creating objects. Okay, class is a blueprint or templates for creating objects. Okay, in classes there are attributes and methods will be there. Okay, inside classes there will be an attributes and methods. They define structure and behavior objects. Okay, what classes mean? They define the structure and behavior objects. A class specifies the attribute means variables. Okay, variables, and all methods, functions. Okay, whatever you write function inside a classes we call it as method. Okay, they call it as method, and that is object will have, and a class specifies the attributes and methods that object will have. We'll see with simple example. Okay, suppose if you take it is a class. Okay, class starts with the capital letter name. Suppose I am taking student name, class name. This is class syntax, student name, simple variable. Suppose I am giving x is equal to 10 variable. Okay, this is called as attribute, or variable, whatever. And definition here. Okay, definition, if function, you have function, some function. Okay, some comma a comma b, these are parameters. Okay, c is equal to a plus b, print c, simple. Okay, so class consists of these attributes, nothing but variables, like that, variables, and also methods. Method, whatever you write function inside a class, we call them as method. Okay, methods. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay, variables. Okay, these are the class syntax. Okay, simple syntax is variables. We call naturally we call these variables. There are two types of variables will be there in classes: instance variables and static or class variables. And also there are three type of methods will be there: instance method, static method, class method. But as of now we are, I am showing a simple example, a simple syntax, whereas we call it as class variable or static variable, and this method we call it as static method. Okay, static method. Okay, yeah, simple static. This is static method, and this is static variable or a class variable. Just for sample purpose only, this is a class. Okay, this is how we create class. In classes, is it what class consists of? Class is blueprint or templates for creating objects. How we create objects? Simple syntax for creating objects. Just use any object name or instance name or instance. We call it as some s, whatever we call it as, equal to class name here. Class name with the parenthesis. That's it. We created object here. Okay, creating an object. Creating student class object. Okay, how we use this object, and we'll see later. This is how we create object here. Okay, how we use the object, we'll see later. Okay, this is a class name, class student name. Student name start with the capital S, comes capital letter, and inside class there will be a methods, functions, and also variables or attributes. Okay, and we will create, so we can create as many as instances. We can send some parameters here, some, like we can send parameters to arguments to this class with an object. Okay, so like so many things are there, we'll see later, but as of now, simple definitions here, remember. Okay, creating a simple class and simple creating an object here. Okay, simple definition here. Okay, and attributes, as I said, these are attributes, variables. Okay, inside class, attributes and methods. Methods are functions inside class. Whatever you are writing function, you call them as method. Okay, methods are function defined within a class. Okay, methods are functions defined within a class. They define the behavior or actions that object of a class can perform. For example, car class may have methods like start engine, stop engine. These are examples we'll see later. And encapsulation is a uh, concept of building data and the methods that operate the data into single unit. It helps hide the internal details of class and expose only necessary functionality. Encapsulation is concept of building of data, attributes, and methods that operate data in single unit. Like this simple example, we call it as encapsulation. Okay, because bundling variables and the methods in one unit. Okay, those are nothing but the encapsulation. So okay, and next thing is inheritance. Okay, inheritance allow you to create a new class based on an existing class. The subclass inherits the attributes and methods of the parent class, and can also add its own attributes and methods. Okay, attributes are nothing but variables, methods. Okay, inheritance promotes code reuse and hierarchy. Okay, in simple words, inheritance means it will inherit the properties from the parent class. Okay, if create a new class from existing classes, so that new class will acquire all the features of the existing classes is called inheritance. Okay, simple words, creating a new class from the existing classes so that new classes will acquire all the features of the existing classes is called inheritance. And also, suppose a good example is that, if a common example is inheritance in nature is parents producing the children and children inheriting the qualities of the parents, simple like that. Okay, so there is, okay, you can create inheritance like, suppose let if class A has some members and variables and others. If another class B wants almost same members, then we can derive a creative class B from A, like this one. Example, how do we create inheritance means, take some class. This is a B, B caps A. Okay, this is how we create inheritance in the class. This is a B. A class is a parent class, B class is a child class. Okay, if B class want to inherit property from the parent class like A class, you have to, this is the syntax. Okay, class, this is you have to write syntax like this one. Inheritance, inheriting the, if you want to inherit properties from A to B, because a class A with some members, that is variables and methods. If you feel another class B wants almost same members, then we can derive or create class B from A, like this one. Okay, so this is simple inheritance here, and we'll see later. Okay, these are normal. Okay, just remember. Okay, definition. Okay, this for this one. Polymorphism is many shapes. Poly means many here. Okay, many shapes and refers to the ability of different classes to be treated as instance of common superclass. It allows objects of different class to be used interchange and they have common interface of parent class. Polymorphism means many form, many shapes. That means, suppose this function method is there. Okay, if you pass strings to this, if you pass strings to these parameters, or any, you can pass strings to these parameters, and also numbers to these parameters, means this function is, because this means the same function is adding two integers or concatenating two integers. Since the function is performing two different tasks, it is said to exhibit polymorphism here. Okay, because it's performing two different tasks, this function is performing two different tasks. Okay, here, so it can say polymorphism there. So that's the simple example. Is many forms, polymorph simple means. And abstraction is the hiding. Okay, if you want to hide your members, you have to use abstraction. It's hiding. If you want to hide your members, like using in Java you can use access space for writing, and in Python there is a separate syntax will be there. Like you have to, if you want to hide this one, you have to write like this one. I think x underscore underscore like this one, something like that. So like that you have to write it. I'll tell later we'll see about this one. Okay, just remember what is abstraction means. Abstraction is the process of simplifying complex reality by modeling classes based on essential properties and behavior of objects. Okay, it's hide the unnecessary details and focus on what's important. In the composition, association, these are the concepts. Okay, we'll see these are all things. Mainly in this video, we will learn about the objects, classes, attributes, methods, encapsulation only. Okay, with examples, with sample programmings, with syntaxes. Okay, objects are the okay, these are the definitions. Okay, simple definitions. Now we will go into the main one, constructor. First one, classes and objects. We'll see now class is a blueprint or template for creating objects. Define the structure and behavior of the object of the class. So this is simple. Okay, this is a class attribute here, or static attribute you can call it. This is a constructor method, and if you constructor method used to initialize the variables. Okay, initialize the instance variables. To initialize the instance variable, we have to use constructor here, and also we have to use self variable. For that I will tell you what is self variable. An instance method, another instance method like this one. Okay, an object is an instance of a class. Simple. What is object means? Object is an instance of a class. We can call object as an instance also. Okay, nothing but object is an instance of a class. Okay, and this is called the class constructor method. Init to initialize object. We have to use init to initialize object constructor. We'll see what is constructors. See, these are simple examples. Only main thing we'll see here. Attribute means data members. You can see here. See, self we have to use. This is a see, this is the instance attribute here. Is instance method, instance variable here. Okay, attribute or variable you can call this. This is the instance variable here. Definition underscore init self comma name comma age. I will tell with a normal example. Okay, this is class or static variable. Okay, what are the variables are there, what are the methods are in the classes, we'll see here. Okay, this is a class or static variable, and what are the where how instance variables will create here, we'll see. Instance variables we have to create like this one. Okay, underscore. Okay, and init the self here. Okay, self, you can write any another parameter also. Self is a variable here, where this is a parameter. Self dot name is equal to name. We have to assign instance variable like this one. This is the instance variable here. Okay, this is the class variable. I'll tell you in a minute what is this is a syntax, basic instance. Okay, instance variables are instance attributes, you can call it, is no problem. You can call instance variables, you can call here. Okay, attributes nothing but variables here. Okay, instance variables here. Okay, we have created class variable, instance variable here. Now we will create instance method, class method, static method. Okay, this is static method here. Simple words, this is static method here. Static methods are utility methods. Okay, so nowhere related to the class and static class and the instance variable in the class. And now we will instance method, will see def def the definition instance method. Now whatever you can write it, you can write ins instance method like, and self you have to write compulsory self, you have to write it. What is self, I will tell you in a minute. Self parameter variable you have to write in the instance method, and write some print instance method, comma self here. Okay, self, if you want to access class variables, you have to write for instance self dot name, self dot name here. Okay, this is instance method. What is instance, I will tell you in a minute what is instance method, everything. Next thing is class, This is class method, no? CLSS we will write it, class, and we have to pass CLS variable, variable here, print class variable, comma, CLS dot x here. Okay, this is a class variable. We are accessing class variable. CLS dot means we have to access class variable through CLS variable. Here is parameter here. Okay, not okay, and this is class method. Okay, class method you have to write in with class decorator like this, at the rate of class method here. This is called decorator here. Okay, we call it as class decorator. For class methods you write this decorator here, class at the rate of class method. For static method you write is at the rate of static method decorator at the rate of static method. Okay, so like this one, if you write class method, Python interpret it as a class method. If you write a static method, it assumes as a static method, Python interpret. Okay, so these are the things you'll have inside a class. Okay, you can have static variables, class variables, you can have instance variables, instance method, class method, and static method. And if we want to declare instance variable, we have to declare like this one. Okay, the syntax is it, definition init double underscore here, init underscore, this is the inbuilt Python. Okay, Python Python the Python verify Python one, self comma name, self dot name equals, self means, will tell you, self means, self is a variable that contains by default the memory address of the instance object. Okay, self is a variable, it's a variable, okay, that contains the contain by default the memory address of the instancer object. Okay, self contains the memory information of the object, whatever you created object here. Okay, you created object here, no, s is an instance, this memory information, this memory information available in this self. Okay, that's the reason you have to write self here for the creating instance variables in this called constructor here, we call it as, this is a constructor here. What is the job of constructor? To initializing the instance variables like this one, like this we have instance variable will be initialized here. Okay, and that's how you can have to create it. This init means, see, constructor method init to initialize object. Okay, method it is, this calls a constructor method, class init to initialize the object here. This is a method. Okay, method you have to write it here, constructor method. Init means default inbuilt in method, and its attributes and methods, and you have to write self compulsory. Okay, self contains the object information, object memory information. That's the reason we have to write self here. Self dot name, name means what is the, or self dot name you can write it, or self dot you can write self dot x is equal to 24, like whatever. Okay, you can, this is a instance variable. Okay, you can as initialize like this one, or you can initialize like this also, it's not deal. And instance method you have to pass compulsory self parameter here. Okay, self variable here for instance method. Okay, self variable you have to pass as a parameter here. Okay, and you have to, if you want to access instance variable in instance method, you have to write self dot name here. So this is a class method. If you, class CLS compulsory for class methods, and you have to write, if you want to access class variable, you have to write CLS dot x here like this one. For static method, no need of, okay, because it neither related to the class or instance, it's just the utility method. Okay, in static method, just some utility method here. So if you create, we'll create this object. Okay, these are the basic things. And okay, and see, these are the constructors and instance constructors. A constructor is a special method in a class that automatically called when an object of the class is created. Okay, whenever the object is created, constructor method is called, like instance variable here, instance variable. Okay, so this is the constructor method in it. Okay. Instance is individual object created from class. Instance is not but a class. Okay, instance nothing but an object. Okay, so these are instance variables. Instance variables are the variables whose separate copy is created in every instance. For example, if x is an instance variable, and if we create 3 instances, there will be 3 copies of x in these 3 instances. Okay, when we modify the copy of x instance, we will not modify the other 2 copies. Okay, with examples we'll see what is instance method, class method, instance method. This is in how to access instance method means here instance name dot method here. Okay, immutors, class methods. These are definitions are there here. Static methods. These are sample programs. By doing sample programs, you will understand everything. What are the instances? How we use it here? Okay. So, okay. Okay. And also you can in instance methods you can access only instance variables. Okay. Instance method you can access only instance variable. You cannot access class variables. Whereas in instance method you can access instance variables and the class variables, whereas in class method you can access only instance variables. Okay. In instance method you can access uh, class variables and instance variables, whereas in class method you access only class variables only. Okay. In static method you can access both class or static variables. Okay. So like this one, and with the example we will see one by one what is how we'll create object, how we create instance method, instance method how we access instance variables. These things we will see here. Okay. And coming to the programming, first program, just take out this one. This is a simple one. So write a Python program to define student class. Okay. And then create an object to it. Also we will call the method and display the student details, and we call the instance method here. Okay. Method means display the student details. Okay. We have to create a constructor instance. We have to create here instance variables and instance method, and we have to access. How we'll access through object we will see here. Okay. In this example, student information like name, marks, something like that. Okay. First we have to write a class here, class student caps. Next thing, how to create instance variables. How to create by using constructor. What's the constructor syntax? Div double score init underscore by init method. Okay. Init method, and you have to pass self contains object memory information. That's the you have to compulsory write for the constructor. You have to write self variable here. Okay. Self variable. Okay. You have to pass parameter to this constructor method. Okay. Self here. Okay. Write self, just enough for this question. Self comma writes any name, self dot name. Okay. Self dot name Bob, whatever. Self dot age 30. Self dot marks 100. Okay. What this information? Okay. This is the instance variables. These are the instance variables. This is how we create instance variables in the class. Next we have to create instance methods. How we create instance method? Different display. You have to pass self variable to this parameter. Okay. Self print student name. What's the student name here? For how to access this instance variables in instance methods, just use self dot name. That's it, simple. Okay. You will get this name Bob. Okay. Same, repeat 3 times here. Control C, Control V, and Control V. So see, this is an indentation error. Okay. Indentation error. See, indentation error. This is indentation error. So you have to maintain spaces, right spaces here. Here self dot student age, here you can write it student age. Self dot student here. Okay. To access instance variable you have to write self dot student age, self dot age, and student marks, self dot marks. Okay. Successfully we created a instance variable, instance methods. Okay. And self you have to write compulsory, because self parameter you have to write it, and you need not to pass any argument to this self. Okay. This is a inbuilt memory, like means in self it contains object information, object memory information. So that's the reason. How we create object here? Simple. S equal to caps student parenthesis. Simple. We created object here successfully, and now we have to display this Okay, by using object name, the instance name or object name, we have to display the student information. How we display? Just use object name s dot display method. Okay, object instance method. Okay, s dot display. By using the instance method, for to access a instance method in a class, we have to use object. Okay, to access instance method in a class, to use in it, we have to use object here. We have to create object, and we have to, with the object name, we want to display instance method in task information here. Okay, observe, right by the, see output here. See, student name is Bob, student is at a marks 7. Okay, we have written display here. Okay, simple thing. We are using here instance variable. So instance variables and instance method we have taken. Okay, instance variable, we have to define instance variable in a constructor method. Like constructor method, this is how we use constructor method in Python. Constructor method used to initialize the instance variables. This is how we initialize the variables, instance variables like this one. And self, we have to pass parameter compulsory through this method. Self is a memory of, self contains memory of this object memory information. Okay, so through object information only, these variables are assigned to these values. Okay, so this is a simple programming. Next programming, write a Python program to create structure with constructor have more than one parameter. Okay, okay, more than one parameter. So right now we don't have parameters. Now we have more than one parameter. If more than one parameter, we have to pass it. Okay, we have to pass through parameter. Okay, so like simple, use this program only. Use more than one parameter. Just use n is equal to comma m is equal to 0. Okay, we have to pass this. These we call as formal arguments. Okay, these are pass formal arguments to this one. And for actual arguments, we'll see now. Okay, and use self dot name is equal to some n here, name. Okay, take out this one, this two enough. Okay, and self dot marks is equal to m as an m here. Okay, simple thing. And display self here, simple. Okay, hi self dot name, hi your student marks, your marks, write it. Okay, your marks, self dot marks. We have successfully we created the object here. And display pass to pass actual. Now you pass actual arguments here. Okay, these are the formal arguments. Now you have to pass actual arguments here. Okay, what same something. Okay, Matthew, some pass like this, Matthew comma 100, simple. Okay, I hope you understand. We have more than one parameter. What's the question here? Write a Python program to create a student class with a constructor having more than one parameter. Okay, we have more than one parameter in the constructor. Okay, constructor used in class, in Python class, to initializing the instance variables. Okay, we have successfully initializing couple of formal arguments we have taken, and we pass the actual arguments through object here. Okay, these two. See what happens. Save it and save. Okay, s plus s dot display Matthew comma 100. Sorry, we passed through method here. Okay, we should not pass it. First we have to create a method name and observe what happens here. If you write here s dot display here, see what happens, and just print. Okay, and we are passing actual arguments. Now we have passing actual arguments to the constructor. Okay, formal arguments. Actually we passed actual arguments to this method. Okay, we have to pass actual arguments to this constructor. Okay, so some s1 is equal to, we are creating another object here, student. Okay, now we have to pass, okay, some Matthew, comma 100. Now you display here, okay, s1 dot display. Okay, we have, if we want, we have to perform function through object only in Python class. So now we'll see the output. See, first one is just hi and empty, because we did not pass any arguments here. So sorry, so we did not pass any arguments, any formal, any actual arguments. So Python takes default one. Okay, this is the default thing. Okay, this is formal arguments, we call it as. So it's n is equal to empty here and m is equal to 0. So it displays here hi self dot name empty and marks. And second object, second instance, we pass with actual arguments here, Matthew and 100. Okay, so the constructor takes, okay, constructor take these variables, and I will assign n to this Matthew and m to this 100 actual argument it is, and we'll assign and initialize the variable here. And if you perform with the display method, this means if you, this display method displays this self dot name and self dot marks. Okay, here hi Matthew, your marks 100. Okay, so like that. These are formal arguments, actual arguments, and this is object or instance. We are creating two objects here. Okay, one is without our actual arguments, and one is with actual arguments here. So like this one, this is the second program. Write a Python program to understand instance variables. Okay, to understand instance variables. And next thing is write a Python to understand class variables or static variables. Okay, so the thing is that write a Python program, what these two programs mentioned is that, see, if you observe instance variables, difference between the instance variables and class variables here we'll see in instance variables, you know, instance means object. Okay, instance variables are the variables with separate copies created in every instance. Okay, for example, if x is an instance variable, if we create three instances, means if we create three objects, there will be three copies of x in three instances. Okay, in three instances there will be three copies of x, but when we modify the copy of x in one instance, if you modify one x instance, if you modify a copy of x in one instance, it will not modify other two copies. Okay, if you modify instance in one, if you modify a copy of x in one instance, it will not modify the other two copies. Whereas in class variables, when we modify the copy of x in any instance, it will modify the other two copies here. Okay, class variables are the variables whose single copy is available to all the instances of the class. If you modify the copy of class variable in an instance, it will modify all the copies of the other instances. Okay, simple thing. We'll see what, how we will see with an example. Okay, this two one, we'll see with an example how we perform this one. Observe here. So see class, take sample, whatever you can write it, class name, start with this here. Okay, and next one, define constructor, means constructor, right, constructor method. Okay, write constructor method, and assign some variable here. Okay, self dot x is equal to 20, something what later, whatever, just, and write some instance method. Now you have written instance variable using constructor. Okay, constructor used to initialize the instance variables, like this one, x through self. And next thing, instance method here. Okay, use modify and modify name, function name, self here. Okay, self dot x plus equal to 1, means This modify function adds the self.x instance variable here. Okay, it adds one right off now. Okay, now create two instances means create two objects here. Create two objects here. Okay, so how we create object, s1 is equal to sample. Okay, and h2 is equal to sample. We have created two objects here, it means two instances we have created. Okay, h2 is equal to sample. So the we have what we have to show means if we modify one of the if you modify one of the class instance method, other method should not other instance method should not change. Okay, so there's a motive here. So for that we have to use it print x in s1 is equal to s1 dot x. Let's copy this one. X in s2. s2 dot x. Okay, now you modify. Okay, now we modify first instance. This is the first instance, this is the second instance, means first object, second object. Now you apply first object here. Okay, s1 dot modify. s1 dot modify. Now you print this one x in s1, s1 dot x, x in s2, s2 dot x here. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, first we have created one class with class name with instance variable and the instance method. We have instance variable using constructor we have to use, and instance method some perform some task. Okay, we are assigning variable here, and that variable we are incremented in the modify method. Okay, and when we created two objects, two different objects for this class, s1 equals sample, s1 equal sample. So if you write the output here, if you check the output here, see x in s1 is 20, x1 is x in s2 is also 20. See, x in s1 is 1, s1 also 21, x in s2 also 20 only. Okay, see, means 20 here. We did not modify anything, just we are accessing the variable here. s1 dot x means we are accessing the variable here. Okay, x in s1 equal to s1 dot x here, we are accessing this variable here. Okay, and also for s2 also we are accessing this variable, so both are 20 here. But next step is we modified here. Okay, see, we will modify here s1 dot modify, mean we will modify first instance here. If you modify first instance, the see the first variable s1 dot x will be 21 because it incremented here 20 plus 1. Same thing if you use x in s2 means s2 dot x means it will not modify over 20 because if we created two instances, there will be two copies of x in these two instances. When we modify the copy of x in any instance, it will not modify the other two copies. Okay, that's the motive here. Okay, so there's a problem here. Okay, so this is the instance variable. Check it. Okay, we modify in the first instance, but it won't change in the x value won't change in the second instance. That's here. I hope you understand this one. And next program is write a Python program to understand class variables or static variables. Same thing. For we check for the instance methods, instance variables. Now we check for the static variables. Okay, how we create static variables? Simple. We don't need to write self here for static variables. Just take out this one. X is equal to 20 here. You have to write like this one. And for class decorator, you have to write it at the rate of class decorator. Class method means the decorator we have to write it class method, rate of class method, and here you have to pass CLS. Okay, like self you have passed instance methods, you have to pass CLS for the static methods, and you have to write CLS dot x plus 1 here. Okay, simple. S1 dot sample, same thing. Okay, S1 dot same thing. Okay, S1 dot we have created two objects. Okay, see, check the output here. This output is for the instance methods. Now this output is for the class method, class variables. Okay, see 20 20 21 21 means if we modify the second instance, if you modify first instance variable, if you modify the x variable in first instance, the modify it will change the other instance also. Same variable will change if you create other instance, the modify it will also change the other modify here 20 20 20 21, right? Okay, so like that. Because see if x is a class variable and if we created two instances, the same copy of x is possible to these two instances. When we modify the copy of x in an instance using a class method, the modified copy is sent to the other two instances. This can be easily grasped from, so this can be used. Okay, so class variables are also called as static variables. You can call this class variables or static variables. Okay, if change in one instance variables, okay, change in one instance variables, easily the copy of the variable will be changed in other instance also. But whereas instance method, they will not change. Okay, one if you change the variable value in one instance method, one instance variable, it cannot change in the other copy another instance. So there are simple differences. Next program we'll see, write a Python program using a student class with instance method to process the data of several students. Okay, write a Python program using a student class with instance method. We are write instance method to process the data of several students. So we have to, for instance method, we have to data of several students means here we will see we have to check conditions. Okay, like if marks are greater than 600, first grade, greater than 500, second grade, greater than 400, third grade, less than 200, fail. So like that, we have to create conditions. We have to write instance method, and if conditions we have to use it, and we have to display the student. Okay, we have to display the student information and their marks, whether he is passed or not. And we have to take the input from the keyboard. How we will take the input from the keyboard? Just use the input method here. Okay, n is equal to int input, like that. And you have to use the while condition for that. Okay, simple one. Same thing, we have to create the instance method, instance variable. How we create instance methods here? Write here class student only. Student now we will create instance methods. Okay, using constructor init self comma, pass some formal arguments. N is equal to empty comma m is equal to 0. Okay, and self dot name is equal to n, self dot marks is equal to m. Okay, now we have write instance method. Okay, definition display self, we have to pass compulsory self parameter. Okay, indentation. Okay, remember indentation errors. Okay, print self dot name, accessing instance variables here. Print your marks comma self dot marks. Okay, so we have to display here. Okay, when we call with object, when we call with an object display, this this task has to perform. Okay, this method Next thing is, now we have to perform some conditions here. Okay, so some calculate here, calculate self, we have to write it, it's compulsory. Suppose if self dot marks greater than 600, sorry, no need parenthesis, this is not Java. Parenthesis, print you got first grade. Okay, you got first grade. And next thing, else or elif, you can use it. Okay, and multiple conditions are there. Elif, one condition is this. Copy these all things. Okay, if, greater than something 400, you got second grade. What will be? Okay, and if greater than 200, you got third grade. And else, if three conditions not satisfied, else condition, else print you failed here. Okay, means less than 200. If less than 200, you failed here. Okay, so these are the conditions. Okay, student marks and the student here. Okay, now we have to write, we have to take input from the keyboard. You know how to take the input from the keyboard? uh, n is equal to int input. Okay, see here, creating instances with some data from keyboard. Okay, input, write some how many students here, how many students we are taking, how many students are there, and give some initialize. You have to follow loop here. Okay, I equals 0 while I less than n. Okay, I equals 0 by I less than n. And you have to take one more name equal to, okay, name is equal to input, enter name, marks equal to int input, enter marks. Okay, now we have to create a instance object. Okay, s is equal to, okay, we have to create object. You know how to create object here. S is equal to student, and you have to pass actual arguments here. Okay, what is the actual arguments? Name comma marks, name comma marks to this, and you have to display and calculate. Okay, display, calculate, increment, display, calculate, and increment. I value increment. Okay, I plus equal to 1. That's enough. And for differences you use this one, print. That's it, simple. Hope you this one simple thing. Okay, we are entering a name, how many students first from the keyboard. Okay, and we are entering the name, we are also entering name and marks from the keyboard, and we are passing that name marks to this as actual arguments to this student class. Okay, we'll assign with this construct assign this name and marks here, and if it is and also we'll check condition for calculate conditions here. Okay, marks are greater than 6, we will give first grade, otherwise second grade, third grade here. Okay, we'll see how it works in the enter how many students. I'm entering 2. Okay, enter name, first name, Radha, whatever, marks 400. See, hi Radha, your marks 400, you got third grade here. Okay, next thing, next name, it repeats 3 times. Okay, because I is equal to 2 here, so 0 1, it repeats 2. Okay, 0 and 1. Okay, 2 times here. Okay, 0 and 1 only, because I is equal to n is equal to 2 here, and I is equal to 0 1, like this one. Okay, enter name, Rani, marks 150, you failed here. Okay, hi Rani, your marks 150, you failed here. Okay, so like that, that's the program here. Just practice here, just observe and practice here, just simple thing only. Self comma n equal to actual, or these are the formal arguments. We are passing the actual arguments to this object name. Okay, to this object is equal to student here. Okay, we are inputting, we're passing this object here, performing and displaying calculate. Okay, we are using object to display instance methods. Okay, that's simple. Next thing is write a Python program to store data. Okay, to store data into instances using mutator methods, and to receive data from the instance using accessor method. First you have to understand what is mutator method and what is accessor methods. Here I observe, here written, here I written instance methods. Okay, instance methods are again classified into accessor methods and mutator methods. Accessor methods, accessor read the instance variables, accessor methods read the instance variables, just read the instance variables, whereas mutator methods not only read the instance variables but also modify the variable. If you want to modify the instance variables, you have to write mutator methods. If you want to read, just to read the instance variables, you have to write the accessor methods. Okay, this is the syntax for accessor methods. Get name function, and get name and self, you can write it, and you have to return for the accessor methods. For mutator method you have to set name. Okay, and also you have to use pass name parameter here, and self dot name is good, you have to assign it. Okay, whatever change you have to write, you have to write here. Okay, self dot name. So that's thing simple. Accessor method, mutator method, and this is the program is same other. Write a Python program to store data into instance using mutator methods, and to receive data from the instance using accessor method. Okay, same this program only, we will see how we mutator method and accessor method. So this program actually we taken data from the input. Okay, data taken from the keyboard input, but now we will see, we'll use it mutator and class. Okay, you no need of all this if conditions, everything. Okay, no need of all this here. Okay, here use just mutator method now. Definition, mutator, set name, self comma name, we have to pass parameter here, and we have to change. Okay, mutator method change the instance variables here. Okay, mutator method change the instance variable. If you want to change the instance variable, you have to use mutator method here. Okay, if you want to read, you have to use accessor method. Okay, this is a mutator method. Definition, get name, self, you have to write it simple. You have to write return here, okay? Return self dot name. In read method you have to, in next method you have to write okay, same thing. Just copy all this one, control C. Okay, here marks we have to write it, okay? Simple marks, self dot name equal to marks. Okay, get name return self dot marks here, okay? Yeah, set marks you write it here. Set marks, get marks. Okay, that's it, simple. Before we have written conditions and this two methods we have written, two instance method we have written before, but here the simple you have using instance methods and mutator methods. Here no need to write constructs and everything, just simple like that. And here we are writing instance. Okay, here we are create same thing, okay, taking from the keyboard. First we have to create object here. S is equal to student. Okay, first we have to create object here, okay, and take out this thing and take out this display and calculate also. And name is equal to input enter name here, okay, and we have to set, now we have to use s dot set name here, okay, because you know set name, pass name here, okay. Simple thing, marks equal to input enter marks. Here you have to use set s dot set marks, pass marks argument here, okay. And for to retrieve the data, just this is creating student class instance, and this is inputting take from the keyboard, and we are setting and we are retreating now. If you want this, if you want to retrieve, just simple get method you have to use is print hi comma s dot get name, print your marks comma s dot get marks. Okay, that's a simple thing we are using here. Observe simple thing, same. How many students? One. Enter name Ramu. Enter marks 250. Hi 250. Okay, line 9 and line 20. Return self dot marks. Okay, we did not self dot name we have written, self dot marks we have right here, okay. Right, at how many students? One. Ramu marks 500. Hi Ramu, your marks 500, okay. So that's simple, okay. This is a way you can use accessor methods and mutator methods. Just remember syntax here, okay. Set name used for setting the instance variables, means changing the reading the instance variable and changing the variable. You have to use set name, and whatever you have to change you have to write in second parameter, and we have to initialize that parameter here, okay. We have to whatever change you have write it, change you write it, and get name used to read the instance variables, okay. Mutator methods and the accessor method used to read the instance variables. Mutator used want to read the instance variables and also modify the instance variables. So the simple example. Next thing is write a program to use class method to handle the common feature of all the instances of bird class. Okay, we have to use class method now. Okay, to handle the common feature of all the instance of bird class. Common feature using class method, we have to mention, you may have to mention some class task here. Okay, class method and instance of bird class. So with an example, simple examples only, we'll see here. Use class name bird. Okay, this is some wings equal to assign a class variable. This is a class variable. Now we have to write class method decorator like class method. Okay, and you have to write definition. Write some fly whatever class name this is. We have to pass cls compulsory. Cls comma pass some parameter also, doesn't matter. We'll take this parameter from the object. Okay, from the method name. Okay, and print with two wings. Okay, with two wings dot format, uh, name comma cls dot wings. Simple thing. Okay, successfully we return class variables and class method. Okay, and now we have to display information for two words. Okay, so how we display? Suppose bird dot fly, use some sparrow. Next thing, bird dot fly eagle. See here we did not create any object here. Okay, observe. So we have used class variable and class method. Observe here, we did not created any object here. Okay, without creating any object, we are accessing the class methods, class method task here. See, sparrow with two wings, class with two wings. I hope you understand this one. Simple thing. Okay, take class bird name. So we assign class variable. We have written class method, and also we have passed some parameter, which is this one. And if you want to access class methods, you can use with class name dot method here. Okay, class name dot method name. If you want to access class method in a class, you don't need to create an object. Though you can use object, you can also access through object. Class methods also access through object, but you can also write class name dot method name. Okay, this class name dot method name. You can access class method using class name dot method name, but for instance methods you have to create object. Okay, through object only you can access instance methods, but for class methods you can access through class name here. Okay, the class name here, bird dot fly. Though through object also you can access it. Okay, in class, for class, if you want to access class method, through object you can access it, or you can access through class name here. Okay, so that's a simple example, simple programming. Next thing is write a Python program to create static method that count the number of instances created for a class. Number of count the number of okay, we have to write static method program. And what is the static method? Counts the number of instances created for a class. Number of instances created for a class means how many instances you have created, it has to display. If you created three objects, it has to display you have created three objects. If you create four objects, it has to display it created four objects, like that. Counts the number of instances created for a class. how many instances created for single class. Okay, for single class, how many instances created for single class, we have to display that number of instances. Okay, so we'll see that example. So simply class my class here, simple example, and write n is equal to 0, assign it. As usual, if you want to count the number of any items, you have to initialize the variable into 0. Okay, this is a class variable, and also we can use here instance variable constructor instance method. Self. Okay, and my class name dot n is equal to my class dot n plus 1. Okay, first initial n is equal to 0. Suppose why I'm using which constructor, but every object is created, instance constructor instantiates the variables. Okay, initialize the variables. So that's the reason, if two instances are created, the class will be incremented here. Okay, my class will be incremented here, so like that. And also we have to static method, we have to use it to display the number of views. We will use static method here. Okay, static method uh, number of objects here. Okay, number of objects, you can write it like this, num objects. For static method, you have to pass static method decorator, at the rate of static method decorator. Okay, and you have to, no need of passing anything, print number of objects created. Instances are objects or instances, whatever, created. So where will the value here, my class dot n. Okay, so now we'll create we create three instances. Okay, uh, s1 is equal to my class, s2 is equal to my class, s3 is equal to my class. Okay, so three instances are created and we have to display that one. Just use my class dot num objects. You can access static methods through class name. Okay, to class name dot object name here, simple. Sorry, not object name, class name dot method name, static method name here. Okay, class name my class dot static method. If you want to access static method name, if you want to access static method, we have to access through class name dot method name here. Okay, so number of objects are created, 3 here. Okay, observe 3 here. Okay, static methods are nothing but the utility methods. Okay, so it is neither linked to the class or instance variables. Okay, see, that means we need the static methods when the processing is at the class level. Okay, we need not involve the class or instances. Okay, we need not involve class or instances. Static methods are used when some processing related to the class, but does not need the class or instances to perform any work. So only static methods are used, for example, in environmental variables, counting the number of instances or class of changing or attribute in another class, etc. Okay, these are task related classes. Such tasks are handled by static methods. These are utility methods. Okay, static methods. No need of passing any these parameters like self or clx in static methods. That's about the static method. Write a Python program to create a static method. Okay, by using static method, you have to calculate the square root of a given number. Square root of suppose if you give square root of a given number 4 means it has if you enter the 4 means you have to define 2 like that. Okay, using static method you have to use it. We'll use it. Okay, no problem. Just import. We have to import math here. Okay, import math and use class sqrt square root at the rate of static method def calculator whatever later definition of calculator, pass some value x here. Okay, math dot square root here. Okay, we will write it result is equal to result, right, as a miracle math dot square root of x here. Okay, return result. Okay, and we have to pass, so we have to enter the number through keyboard. Okay, number num is equal to int input enter number enter number enter number. Now call result. Okay, some r is equal to square root. How to access static methods? Through class name square root name dot what is the method? Static method here calculator, and what is the pass value? Num here. Okay, num print here square root of print here what we print here the square root of is point is 2.2f colon 0.2f. Okay, dot format square root of num whatever you enter number, and I will result here. Okay, num comma result here. Simple. I hope you understand static method. We are square rooting the number using static method. Okay, in static method we are taking some function name, static method function method name, and we are passing the variable num here. Num we are passing the variable here. Okay, means it stores num here, and the square root of 3 math stores in result, and we are writing result, and that result uh, result here. Okay, is storing that result into this result here res. I am printing that one. Okay, simple. Enter number 4. So the square root of 4 is 2.0. Okay, next thing again we will see another number. Okay, enter 21. So 4.58 like that. Okay, so here I am being 0.2f means 214 numbers. Okay, point after 0.2 numbers it will displace 2f means 40 here. Okay, that's about this program. Enough. So next thing is write a Python program to create a blank class where deposits and withdrawals can be handled by using instance methods. See, this is the simple thing only. This one 10th program is a very big one, but very simple one only. So I have the output here. I have the program. You can understand usually using instance methods only. You can do it everything. You already done this the instance methods, no? The marks, student marks. This fourth, fifth, sixth, fifth one, I think so. As using this fifth program, same instance method only. So it's a very big, quite big one, but very easy. I have already given output here. You can check there. Okay, 10th program one. Just using instance methods only. You can write there. Okay, and using means see here output means like means if you enter some name here, so it will display like this one: deposit, withdraw, exit. Here if you enter choice D means it, if you enter choice deposit, enter amount 3,000, so balance will be 3,000. Okay, if you enter again withdraw means if you withdraw amount withdraw, it balance will be 2,000. Okay, exit here. Okay, this simple thing. Deposit, withdraw methods you have to write it here. Deposit and withdraw methods, instance methods you have to write, and you have to initialize the variables self comma name comma balance like that, and we have to take the input from the keyboard, and if it is true we have to write all the output. Okay, if it is true all the we have to write all this one, make it chance if conditions we have to write it with choice equals some e system or exit. So these things I already given answers for this one, just try it. Okay, if you don't know there, it's easy, you can understand easily this one if you understand this to fifth program, 10th program. So it's a quite big one, but easy, you can understand this one. Okay. So we like second 11th program, write a Python program to create EMP class and make all the members of the EMP class available to the another class. You understand? Create first create employee class, all the members of employee class. Okay, if you want all the members of the employee class should available to another class. So to pass all members of EMP class to the another class, you should pass EMP class instance object to other class. Okay, okay, to pass all the members of EMP class to another class, we should pass EMP class instance object is EMP class instance is EMP object to the another class parameter. Okay, first we will create EMP class here. Okay, some methods and class EMP. Okay, and we are creating some instance variable in it, self comma id comma name comma salary. Okay, and self dot id is equal to id, self dot name is equal to name, self dot marks is equal to marks. Okay, sorry, self dot marks was salary. I'm sorry, self dot salary is equal to salary. Self contains object memory information. Okay, remember. And next thing is just normal display only, display self print id like this one printed. Okay, print name is equal to name. Okay, sorry, we have to write it self dot id here. Okay, print salary is equal to self dot salary. Okay, we have successfully created, okay, employee class. Now we will create another class, my class. Here methods to receive employee instance and display employee details. Take some static method here at the rate of static method now we relate to the class and instances, so there is a static method here. Write some definition. My method pass e. What is e means I will tell you 1 minute. Just pass e here. Some increment salary here. E dot salary is equal to some thousand. E dot display. Okay, now we create an object for employee. So e is equal to uh, write capital letter here. Okay, e is equal to employee. Okay, so employee e is equal to employee. Now e is equal to employee, pass 3 or pass 3 arguments here. Okay, id name salary, id equal to 1, you can say 1 comma bob comma salary, assume 4000 here. Okay, 4000, create e dot display, and also observe my class dot access static variable here, static method, my class dot my method, pass e here. Okay, same thing. See here, create employee instance e, and we are calling static method of my class and pass e this instance here, this instance variable, this instance object passing to this static method. Okay, observe the output here, e dot display. Okay, spelling wrong. E dot display, e dot display, right. Right, okay. See, id is equal to 1. Observe here, first one id equal to 1, name equals salary equal for the employee class, and for the my class it incremented name is equal to e dot salary is equal to, okay, we have to add it now, salary plus 1000, incrementing, no, e dot salary equal to e dot salary plus 1000 here, e dot. So observe here now, see, for normal employee class these are the, this is output here, for the my class this is output here, incremented salary here. Okay, see, but we did in, see, observe here in my class we did not write in instance variables instance method, but all this instance method values has passed to this class through this object. Okay, e, okay, e dot e object here. Okay, see, we have passed this e object here so that all these instance variable methods will access to this class, and you can also modify here. Okay, like we modified here. So like this one, e. So that's the program here, simple. So here what this means to pass all members of emp class to the another class, we should pass emp class instance to another class. Okay, all members of emp class to another class, we should pass emp class instance means object name to the other class. So that's the good. Next, write the Python program to calculate the power value of a number with the help of static method. Means If you enter number 3, it has to display 9. Enter number 2, 4. Okay, power value. So we'll write it there. This one also. Simple thing. So write class, my class. Take static method only for this also. My method pass to parameters x comma n means power, x means number, n means the power, like that. And some res is equal to x power of n means you have to write like this, x and power of n means is like this one. Okay, and print here itself, print to the power of is. Okay, and this thing and dot format. What's the first thing? X here. Okay, x to the power of n comma result. Simple thing. And we are calling now static method here. Okay, how you call static method? Just use class name, my class name, my class dot my method. My method pass two variables here. Okay, I'm passing 2 power 4, 2 power 2 square, 2 comma 2, 4. You have to get 4 answer. Okay, and also pass another argument also, like 5 cube, 5 comma 3. Yeah, 2 power 2 to the power of 2 is 4, and 5 to the power of 3 is 125. So this is the answer. Okay, so if you want to access the static methods, you want to access through class name. Okay, so that's we did not create any object here. Observe, for static methods and class methods, no need of creating objects. For instance method, you access instance method, you have to create an object. Through object only you can access instance method in a class. That's important one, remember. And this another thing is inner class. Write a Python program to create DOB class with person class. Okay, person class is the main class, the DOB class is the inner class, inner member. First you have to know the definition. It is possible to create inner classes within a class. To refer the inner class members, we can create inner class object as inner object. This is and outer class dot inner class. If you want to access inner object, you have to write like this on outer class dot inner class, and you have to access inner like this also. We can access outer object dot inner object. Okay, that's about the inner. We'll see with an example. Write a program, DOB class and person class. Simple one. Okay, and use. So first write class person, instance method, self, write self here. Okay, in self we can write name and db. Okay, self dot name is equal to some Raju, whatever name you can get, and write date of birth. Okay, self comma name Raju, and you can create like this one also, inner object self dot db, creating inner object. Okay, creating inner class object. This is db is a inner class object. This is inner object name here, self dot caps dop. Okay, and method here, display self uh, print name is equal to self dot name. Okay, and we are creating an inner class now. Okay, now we will get inner class. Inner class, what's the inner class? CLSS caps DOB, date of birth here. Okay, and create same as create method instance, sorry, create instance variable init self. Okay, right, self dot dd is equal to date, how much, 10th, right, 10th, like this, 19th or whatever. Self dot month is equal to 8909, month 9, write it. Okay, self dot year is equal to 2023, and display here. Okay, and also use display here, display self print dot format, write it self dot dd comma self dot month comma self dot yy. Okay, this is a program now. See, we have created two classes. One is this is outer class, this is the inner class. Okay, this is the inner class, this is outer class. In outer class only you can create the inner class object like this one, self.db equal to self.dob. Okay, we can create inner class object in outer class only. In outer class itself we create inner class object here. Okay, so now how to access this inner class object values members. Okay, there's two ways will be there. First we have to create the outer class object with this person object. This is outer class. How you create me? Just use p is equal to person. Okay, we have successfully created the outer class object, and now display outer class members like display. So you display this name here, Raju, like this one. Now how to create inner class object also. X is equal to p dot db. This way creating inner class object. Okay, this is the way we creating inner class object, and accessing inner class object is like this one, x dot display. Display. Okay, simple one, display, right. Okay, x is equal to p dot. Okay, we no need of, sorry, no need of this one. Name equal to Raju, x dot display. Okay, Okay, we are written y here. Okay, here, see, name equal to Raju 9923. Okay, so I hope you understand this program. This one, this is outer class person. Okay, this is inner class. You can create inner class object in outer class also, like this self.db equal to self.dob. If you want to access inner class job members, you have to write you have to assign this to the x here, like this one. X is equal to p.db, where this is not creating an object, this is accessing the inner class object value. If you want to access the inner class object value, you have to write like this: x is equal to p.db and x dot display here. Okay, p.db means person, object dot db means this one. Okay, date of birth we are given, no? Database object name, both objects. P.db means object dot object name, means outer class object dot inner class object here. Okay, we are accessing outer class object dot inner class object here, x dot display. So this way you can access inner class object methods. There is another way also there. So like this one, p dot display, you can also like access like this. Instead of x dot outer class object dot inner class object, you can access x is equal to person dot date of birth. DO means date of birth, simple. Person dot date of birth. Person dot means outer class object dot inner class object. Okay, so x dot display. Okay, and also if you want to print here means also you can also like this one, print out just here you want to means just print x dot here, like this one. Same thing you can access like this also. So name equal to Raju 19. So no need of this one now here. Okay, for this program no need of this one. Simple, you can create like this also. Okay, and name equals like that. So that's about the inner class and outer class, and all programs has finished now. Just go through every program again and observe the difference: class method, instance method, static method, class variable, instance variables, and objects method. We have seen the difference between the classes and objects, and we have interlinked with the class and objects and data members, methods, everything here. Go through this once again, and the rest of the inheritance polymorphism we'll see in another class. Okay, this rest of them, just practice. Okay, that's it.